Welcome to the CEO Tech Talks podcast, where vision meets impact. I am your host, Ambreen Ahmed. Each episode, I sit down with exceptional leaders who are shaping the future of business, technology, and transformation. This show is about more than just success. It's about clarity, purpose, and those bold decisions that light the way forward. Join me as we uncover the insights, challenges, and breakthroughs from today's most inspiring voices. Leaders who are redefining what it means to lead in a rapidly changing world. This is CEO Tech Talks. Let's dive in. Today, we're exploring what it truly means to lead with purpose in both business and community. My guest today is Esteban Flores. He is a Texas-based entrepreneur and the founder of Effective Real Estate, but his story goes beyond the world of housing and investments. Esteban is part of a new generation of leaders who see entrepreneurship and civic engagement as two sides of the same coin. We'll talk about how he's built businesses rooted in integrity and service, how technology is changing the real estate game in Texas, and what inspired him to step into the world of public service. It's a story of vision, impact, and purpose-driven growth. Welcome, Esteban. Thanks for joining.
Hi, good morning, Umbreen, and thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so happy to be here and to be doing this podcast with you today.
Happy to have you, and let's get into it. Tell us about your role in the multiple businesses you've built.
Yeah, so I own a couple of real estate businesses, all in different, I guess, different types of real estate, different niches. I have a real estate brokerage, Effective Real Estate. We have over 25 agents throughout Texas. And that company focuses on pretty much sales and leasing. We represent a lot of developers, a lot of investors that are looking to get into the real estate space. So basically, we take a real estate asset and we compare it as any other type of investment vehicle. So that's one of the businesses, and that's a primary focus. I also have a construction and development company. We build mixed-use developments and spec homes. And I also have a property tax consulting business. We help people lower their property taxes. And I have a real estate investment company as well. And they all go kind of hand in hand. And then we also have a property management business. So pretty much, we have a one-stop shop for all your real estate needs, from ground up development, site selection, leasing, and sales and management.
Wow, that sounds like a real estate empire that you've built. How many businesses is that?
It's 4 businesses, and it's all under the Effective ecosystem, just kind of different arms of real estate.
Okay. So, what does effective mean to you personally and professionally?
Yeah, so to me, effective is being able to successfully reach a intended goal and to being able to do it efficiently. So what we do is we take a lot of times we have difficult transactions and we make them simple. We simplify what it is to invest in real estate and make it easy. We hold our clients' hands every step of the way, and we are able to do so in a way that produces a really, really great result for them and a great return on investment for our clients.
Okay, so it sounds like the name actually is embodied in the culture and in the spirit of your empire here. How did you get started in real estate and what inspired you to create Effective Real Estate?
Yeah, so I got started in real estate actually 20 years ago in 2005. I was 18 years old at the time, and we actually moved to Texas. My family moved to Texas from California, and my parents sold some properties that they had in San Diego, and they bought properties here in South Texas, and they kind of learned as they went along. So I got my real estate license to help them grow their real estate portfolio. But then I went off to college and I graduated from college. I got a couple of jobs that I did not really like. And then I said, hey, you know what? I have my real estate license. And so I wanted to explore more with what I could do with that. So then I jumped into real estate. And at the time, the market was completely different than what it is now. There was a lot of foreclosures at the time. This was back in like 2008, 2009. And that's how I started learning. I started representing investors. And and I loved it and I jumped right into it and I've never looked back.
Wow, that sounds like fun. So you enjoy what you're doing. You must be passionate about it.
I do. I love what I do. It's every day I feel like I learn something new. Every deal has its different challenges that come across with it. And a lot of it has to do with just problem solving. But we have to take these deals and get them to the finish line and help our clients along the way. But the most fascinating and the most what I enjoy the most out of this is just the people that I interact with. I've met some of the most amazing people through real estate and listening to their stories and we go through a little journey together when it comes to helping them with their deals. So I've just met so many incredible people through real estate, also through my volunteer work and community service, and that's what has been the most rewarding for me.
I think the human connection aspect is critical, even in real estate. What does a typical day look like for you as both a business owner and a community leader?
So it just depends on a day-to-day basis. I pretty much live off of my calendar and it depends because sometimes I wear a lot of different hats, a lot of different roles. So sometimes I'm meeting with a client, sometimes I'm working on a volunteer role or serving on a board, sometimes at a community event and sometimes just engaging with my staff, with my agents, with my employees and giving them the rundown and day-to-day work. Sometimes I'm out in the field in the construction projects. So that's one thing that I really enjoy. Like I'm not in the office like 9 to 5 per se. Sometimes I'm on the field. Sometimes I'm looking at a project. Sometimes I have my boots and my hard hat on. Sometimes I have a suit and tie and I'm at a board meeting. Sometimes I'm, selling properties on the island and if I was in a suit and tie, that'd be frowned upon. So I'm in shorts and flip flops showing a property. So it all depends on a day to day basis. But what keeps me grounded is I have such an amazing team. And every morning they kind of keep me on track and they're like, hey, remember, you got this and this and this meeting today. So I have a great team. So throughout my day, I'm communicating with my team. I'm letting them know this is what I'm working on. And then I'm delegating this is what you guys should be working on. So we have our kind of our morning briefings and then we have our afternoon recaps where we let each other know kind of what was accomplished throughout the day. So a lot of the day is spent delegating on my phone and on my emails 24/7.
So it sounds like that's a lot of leadership on your part with all these multiple businesses. How big is your team?
So I have about 25 realtors that work on my team. I have about 3 staff members that help me kind of run everything. And then on the construction side, it just depends on how many projects we have going on at the time. But within the construction, I have also several teams that I depend on to get these projects off the ground.
So what major shifts are you seeing in the Texas real estate market right now?
Well, the Texas real estate market has just been booming throughout the pandemic. Texas became kind of the epicenter of the real estate boom, and people are moving here from all across the country, from the East Coast, from the West Coast. We got a lot of foreign investors coming in. A lot of the major tech companies have come into Texas, and a lot of big developers because Texas is such a investor friendly state and so we're seeing a lot of growth in this area in this space and it's just been such a pleasure and an honor to be involved with it. I do a lot of volunteer work on several volunteer boards as well with Texas Realtors and with the National Association of Realtors. So I'm kind of always trying to keep up with the trends, what's happening, what's going on. So a lot of really interesting projects coming into our area.
It sounds like the industry shift is working in your favor then.
Yeah, it's been very exciting to see all the development going on. Recently, Elon Musk launched SpaceX just right around the corner from us, so we're seeing the rockets launch and a lot of really interesting stuff coming to our area that's bringing in new jobs and new tourism that we had never seen before. So the area is really, really growing amongst a lot of other great, great projects that are coming into our area.
How has the rise of AI automation and social media changed your approach to real estate?
Technology has changed the game when it comes to real estate. A lot of things are shifting because of technology. Nowadays, AI has been able to simplify a lot of things. It's been able to take big, complex problems and simplify them down and lay out the framework. But I feel like AI is not yet at a level where it's you can completely 100% rely on it. You really, really have to be kind of cautious with AI. We've seen some people overusing AI and the technology, and where it could be very, very helpful, but it's not a solution to everything. Real estate is very much a very person to person. You have to build these relationships and you have to build the trust that comes along with it. People need reassurance. They need somebody like an expert that's going to help them in the space. They're going to need somebody that really understands the market to take their vision and turn it into a reality. Whereas technology is really changing the game, and in order to keep up with a change, you have to understand it. Real estate is very, very personal at the same time, and it's relationship based business. So you also have to be able to, build those relationships genuinely and not so much um, the technology, although it is a great, great tool, you also have to have also other tools in your toolkit to be able to be successful in this.
Okay. So, what kind of tools are you using then to change how you find, engage, and retain clients?
Yeah, so we do use a lot of different platforms, and like you mentioned, social media. We're on all the different social media platforms. We utilize search engine optimization. We have our CRMs to be in front of our clients. Different lead generation tools. But what we really, really utilize is a lot of demographics. We're always keeping up with the trends, what properties hit the markets. We're very, very hyper local, and we consider ourselves like the local experts when it comes to real estate and when it comes to investments in our area. So just keeping up with what's going on, attending city planning meetings and looking at the agendas and seeing what projects are coming into the area, keeping track with them, building those relationships with those developers, with those builders, with those elected officials, with the city officials, and then putting them all in the database and organizing them and just being top of mind, creating different content to be able to stay in front of our clients. So it's really a lot of different kind of tools, and we use a very sophisticated technology stack that helps us kind of stay at the forefront of what's happening and of the trends.
So, what do you mean sophisticated technology stack? What is that?
Right. So we use different technology platforms. We use our CRM, which kind of helps us stay top of mind with our clients. We use our websites. We use our transaction management software. We use our virtual assistants in conjunction with our in-house admins and different different platforms to build content and to stay engaged with our clients.
Okay. So, what's working really well for you at the moment within your business, and what's been most frustrating?
Yeah, that's a great question. What's been working really well is just person to person relationships in front of people, scheduling meetings, showing them the numbers, the data, the trends, what's working, what's not. And kind of a little bit of what I do in working with a lot of investors is I can compare a real estate investment to any other type of investment. What's the difference if you invest in this real estate app or if you invest in this stock or a bond or a mutual fund or any other type of investment, and break it down? What's your return on investment, your cap rate? So just really understanding the market and understanding what it means for your clients and your clients' pocketbooks or the investors, that works really well. Some of the challenges as well is depending on people sometimes. I know at one point we got very, very aggressive in hiring a bunch of virtual assistants, and then you had to train them. And then sometimes when you delegate things, just refining everything and the training and the feedback and the back and forth, um, you never know. It's sometimes hit or miss. But we've found some excellent help. And then also we've had our struggles with people that don't see the vision of what you're trying to do. So we've had our good experiences, we've had our challenges along the way, we've had our learning curves. We've been able to kind of really, really refine our systems and what we do and what we like to do and what we don't like to do, and what the projects that we like to get involved with and the ones that we will choose to pass on.
Okay. Have you automated any of your internal processes?
Yes, we have our, kind of like our blueprint of what we do and what we automate and what we delegate. So we create our SOPs, we create our manuals, our policies and procedures, different things that we automate. It's always evolving. It feels like it never ends because once you automate something, I'm always going back and refining it and tweaking things and trying to always perfect it and make things better. So we've really, really kind of evolved with everything that we do.
So, where do you want to be 6 to 12 months from now with all your real estate businesses?
Well, continuing to grow, continuing to scale, continuing to just add support for our clients, for our agents, growing our portfolio as well, and want to really take what we've built and put it into other markets as well because we've been very, very successful in our area in South Texas. So we want to continue to grow and take what we've built here and what we've accomplished, and then replicate it and put it in other markets and be able to attract uh, also bigger investors and developers, and continuing to just um, enhance the quality of life for our communities and bringing in great projects that really, really help the community, that fill a void in our community, that create jobs, that create business for our communities.
So, sounds like you have an aggressive plan for the next 6 to 12 months to grow regionally. What metrics are you most focused on improving?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. We look at like we really track a lot of our metrics. Just growing our client base, also our sales volume, growing how many assets we have under management, growing our portfolio, and getting involved in bigger deals.
Okay. So, I'd like to shift a little bit and learn from you about your passion for civic engagement and what you plan on doing there.
Yeah, so I serve on a lot of volunteer boards. I was on the board of directors of my local real estate association, and that's kind of what kicked off my journey into leadership and civic engagement. I was a commercial chairman for 3 years, and now I'm involved at the state and the national levels. I'm on the Texas Realtors Global Committee. I'm a part of the National Association of Realtors Leadership Academy, which takes 20 of the top realtors in the country, and we solve a problem for the Realtors Association. I was just appointed to be ambassador for the National Association of Realtors to Mexico, Honduras, and Guatemala. And now I'm in South Padre Island. I'm running for city council here. So it's just been quite, really, really a great journey to be on, and just such a learning experience. And like I said, some of the most amazing people that I've met have come through volunteering and to helping out in the community. So it's been just a wonderful journey to be on.
So, what kind of change do you want to drive in this official role?
Yeah, so my grandparents always taught me to leave things better than I found them. So I'm just trying to just leave my mark to, just be a pillar in the community to help improve things, to help try to simplify things, to bring in investment and entrepreneurship and new projects to the area to improve on the quality of life, to help stimulate the economy, to fight to protect private property rights, to help lower property taxes, and projects that are going to be good for the quality of life here for our residents and our families and for our future.
So, I think you've answered my next question a little bit here, but what connections do you see between running a business and leading in government?
Yeah, so it's very different but very similar at the same time. Being a volunteer on several different like nonprofits and boards kind of showed me how to lead. It showed me how to run board meetings efficiently, and my private businesses and through my construction and development firms, I learned how to work hand in hand with our local municipalities and how to get permits and fill out applications and to uh, adjust and meet all the requirements for zoning and planning and code enforcement and all of that thing, and go through the process from the private sector. And then in my volunteer roles on the different boards, I learned how to advocate for our industry, advocate for our communities, and talk to our elected officials and get them to, support certain legislature and bills and things that are good for our communities. So I've seen it from the private side and now from the public sector. And now running for city council, it's like on the other side of things. So trying to see things from different lenses and different perspectives has been very, very just eye-opening for me. But it all goes hand in hand because I think in order to be able to lead effectively and to be able to see things from the public sector, it's also very, very helpful to be able to have that experience of owning your own business and managing employees and delegating tasks and being able to do the research because when you're serving on the public sector, all of that is very, very helpful, and you'll be able to see things from different perspectives. Nowadays, you see a lot of career politicians that are very out of touch with reality and very out of touch with their communities and their small business owners. And the small business owners and the entrepreneurs are really the backbone of our economy. And they're the ones that take the risks on projects and put their money and their dreams and their hard work and their investment and to try projects that are good for the community. So working with the private and public sector is very, very, I guess, beneficial because it opens your eyes to different perspective of things.
Well, thank you for sharing all of this, Esteban. What would you like our listeners to hear from you as a call to action as we wrap up here?
Yeah, so number one, I guess, take care of yourself first. And what I mean by that is take care of your mental health. What has kind of helped me throughout my journey and my career is my faith. You know, I pray, I meditate, um, things to kind of take care of yourself first because it's easy to get burned out. It's easy to kind of over exhaust yourself and get overwhelmed when you're working on so many things. So, whatever it is for you that kind of brings you peace, that keeps you grounded, that keeps you moving forward, that fills your cup, I think start with that. For me, it's my faith. For me, it's, just being 5 minutes in gratitude, close my eyes and just think of all the things that I'm grateful for. And that really, really helps me start my day and lead with a positive attitude. So for you or for anybody else that may look a little different, but whatever fills your cup, start with that. Do things for the right reasons. Do things with a positive attitude and always put people first and help people accomplish their dreams and their goals and their visions. And that's so rewarding. And it comes back. It comes back in such a positive way. So I think that's the most valuable, beneficial things is always to put yourself first and take care of your mental health, take care of yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, and lead with integrity.
Esteban, thank you for sharing your story with us today, one that reminds us that leadership isn't confined to boardrooms or campaign trails, but begins with how we serve others every day. Exactly what you just said. Your journey from entrepreneur to community advocate shows that effective leadership is built on clarity, courage, and connection, values that resonate far beyond real estate.
Thank you so much, Umbreen. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. For our listeners, if today's conversation inspired you, visit effective.realestate to learn more about Esteban's work and mission.
Yes. Come on down to South Texas, and we are always happy to host our friends.
Thank you for joining CEO Tech Talks. I hope today's conversation sparked new insights and inspiration for your own leadership journey. Until next time, stay inspired, stay visionary, and keep leading with light. Brought to you by Nura AI Consulting.